What's going on, guys? Thank you. I've got about 5 questions I want to answer. A few of you sent in. Thank you guys a lot for sending in the questions. I really appreciate it. Something I want to make something I do a lot. I can't think of a word. It's really late. It's almost midnight. It's pretty late. So thank you guys for sending in the questions, and hopefully I can get some more. ECW Grunge TNA wants to know what I think of Burchill and how far I can see him going with the company. Burchill's one of those guys that I can see him, I mean, as far as his management will let him, that's how far I see him going. He has all 4 things that you need to be a star, and I think that if management, I think that he might have already been screwed out of it, because he was getting over as a pirate, and they took him off TV, sent him back to developmental. And I think that if he would have stayed with the pirate gimmick, he'd be really over. And I also think with this new storyline they're doing now, only time will tell. The only thing about Burchill is he seems like he's getting pushed around backstage, and he seems like he's going to let that happen to him. I know he's just a young guy, and he doesn't have much, pull back there. But there's at some point you can't let developmental say, okay, this is exactly what you're going to do. If you think it's stupid, then you got to step up and say it. Unless, of course, these are his ideas, in which case it's not developmental at all. If this was his idea for the storyline, then I blame him. If Burchill fails because of the storyline, I blame whoever it was. I think that the storyline is the stupidest idea that he's doing right now, this incest thing. It's ridiculous. I hate it. But I think Burchill's really talented, and I think that he could be as big a star as developmental will let him. And number 2, Crazy451 asks, what current wrestler in either WWE or WWE developmental territories, or one from both, do you think will be the next big star? You might call it biased, because I'm a Ring of Honor fan. A lot of people say it's biased because I'm a Ring of Honor fan, but I think that the biggest star that WWE has waiting to explode is Colt Cabana. I think that he has all 4 things that you need to be a star, just like Burchill does, but I think he has it more than anybody else. I think he can talk better than anyone. I think that he can wrestle, he can work better than anyone. I love his look, and he's just oozing with charisma. He's got more than, and when I say more than anyone, I don't mean more than anyone of all time or anything like this. I just mean he has a ton of it. I exaggerate a lot. So that's who I think is the biggest star they have. I think that when they bring Cabana up, when he gets that opportunity, that if he gets some creative control, then he's just waiting to explode. He's sitting at OVW, and he's only getting better from here on. He's learning how to work WWE style. I don't see a lot of OVW, so I probably should have said that's what's happening, but I hope that's what's happening as far as Cabana goes. So I think that he's going to be a big star, and he's going to break out. That 3 years from now, he'll start getting a push, and he'll be a big star, hopefully. I think it's got what it takes. King of the Krill wants to know, would it be better to get rid of ECW, merge the roster over to SmackDown, let Joey Styles be the main commentator, and then unify the ECW and World title just before SmackDown gets its new TV deal? No. I don't think that that's what they should do. I like that ECW has its own show. The thing that I think that they need to do is that if they're going to say we have 3 brands, then they need to keep it as 3 brands. And if they want, when they did the brands, when it was just SmackDown and Raw in like 2002 and 2003, it was kind of a big deal to see a SmackDown wrestler on Raw, or to see a Raw wrestler on SmackDown. It was kind of a big thing. Now it's such common practice, you don't even care anymore. So, or they need to go the other way and just say, okay, everybody can be on everyone's show and it doesn't matter. Because it seems like half the time it's like a big deal. Like there's like some kind of contract signing or some kind of segment where if a guy's going to go to another show for one night, and other nights it's just okay. Like sometimes the general managers get mad that there's SmackDown guys there, and sometimes it's just common, it doesn't matter. So I mean, they kind of have a break in continuality in that sense. So I think that they need to stick one or the other, and they need to keep it to that extreme. Another thing I wanted to say about ECW real quick is I wouldn't mind an ECW invasion angle, where the ECW guys hate the SmackDown guys. I mean, SmackDown guys are, they're Vince's favorites. They're on network television. They get 2 hours. All these SmackDown guys, they get 1 hour. They're on Sci-Fi. I just don't. I'd like to see that. I think that would be enjoyable. And then, they could set that up, and they could definitely do that. And then, of course, there's the fact that, the internet's just going to complain, like, oh, it's all just one big company, we know they're all, hired by Vince. But so what? If you watch wrestling just to read the dirt sheets, what are you doing? You know what I mean? If you're just going to watch it and go, hey, look how fake that is, what's the point? But that's something I want to get into in a completely other video. I want to just stick to questions tonight. Wrestling Society Net asked me, what are my views on Raven? Some consider him the sloppiest worker ever, while others call him the greatest worker ever when it comes to psychology. I wouldn't call him the best, but I feel he was damn good, and WWE dropped the ball with his character. I almost exactly agree with him. Raven never got over to a level of an Austin, a Cena, a Shawn Michaels, Angle, whatever. But he knows his stuff. And if you've ever seen, I recommend that you go to ROHWrestling.com, quick plug, and you buy The Secrets of the Ring with Raven, because he's so intelligent, and he just knows more about psychology than anyone. He really is the Jake the Snake Roberts of our generation, and that his ring psychology is just, it's amazing. I'm a fan of Raven. I love watching Raven's work. Was he ever the most athletic guy? No. But he proved that he could get over without being the most athletic guy. He's a guy like Mick Foley who proved that he could do that. The other thing about Raven is that he likes putting young guys over. People don't know this, but if you ever followed the Raven and CM Punk feud in Ring of Honor, Raven actually went to Sapolsky and said, hey, can I put one of these young guys over? Whereas most wrestlers don't do that. Most wrestlers from the 80s or any time, they don't want to put young guys over. They want to hold on to their spot as long as they can until it's, ripped from them and they get fired and it's embarrassing. But Raven, he loves putting young guys over, and I think that that's one of the best things that any wrestler can do, is want to put other people over, because that's the way that makes the business better. To be over yourself is great, but if you could make the business better, that just makes you not only a great person, but a great figure in the industry, and it helps the industry. And a second, I gotta turn around here. I didn't print this out. Just got this one. Kilroy687 asked. He basically asked. I don't want to read the whole comment. Sorry about that. But he asked, who do I think is the most overrated guy right now? True Slayer said Triple H, and I agree with his answer, just because Triple H doesn't have a ton of good matches. But I think as far as overrated goes, and I love him, but I gotta say it. I think that Paul London and Spanky. I love watching them, and they're energetic and they're entertaining. But people get so excited about them and say that they should be this, they should be that. But if you watch their match, they can have a good back and forth match, sure. But as far as building on psychology, there's nothing there. There really isn't. And don't get me wrong, I love watching them, and they're ROH, born and bred, and I think that that's great that they're somewhere now and they're making money, and that's great. But they don't have good matches, and I don't think they'll move up the card. And thank you guys for the questions. I don't want to run out of time. Thank you very much. Hopefully I can get some more, and you guys have a good night.